get to be able to read them. You can tell when someone's mad. You can tell when they're hurt. You can tell when they're angry. You can tell when they're upset, when they're in pain. And when you're up there, you're all they've got. So you're the psychiatrist, you're the doctor, you're the nurse, you're the policeman, you're everything.
Yeah, I have patients in my practice who are pilots and flight attendants, part of the crew, and I have a great respect for you guys. I can tell you that I am more nervous getting on an airplane than when I went for surgery. Laying there ready to go into an operating room, I think I'm more nervous sitting on the tarmac or when we hit a bunch of turbulence. And so I think that your experience, 27 years of being up in the skies, definitely helps our patients when you come to the hospital, because you have such a great personality and ability to interact with people of all sorts. And so, I congratulate you on what a career, and now a second career as being an artist. And I mentioned that you're an author, so I want to show our folks that you have a book that you authored, Feeling of Fullness, Insights of a Divinely Guided Journey Beyond Breast Cancer. I could hold it up here and show it up at the camera. And I was briefly going through this book. I wish I had gotten it a little bit longer before showtime. There are some wonderful pictures and stories. Tell us a bit about why you decided to write this book.
Well, I wanted a way to have my legacy left so that people that come behind me can look at it and say, oh, this is who she was. Because I don't have any children, and that's part of the cancer story. I was diagnosed at 37, so I was unable to conceive after that because I think my eggs were fried by the chemo. So, and it just wasn't part of my experience. And I wanted to just put my story down on paper and show, one, that you can turn a negative into a positive, and two, just to leave a legacy. Because I have nobody named after me that's coming after me, oh, that was my mom. I have nobody that can say that. So that was my baby.
Right.
And all of the pieces of art that I've created, those are
this is your art or your
that would be left behind after I'm no longer.
So the words here and your journey is described here and will be forever on paper and in these words is your legacy, as you said. When you were writing this book with all these pictures and these stories, what was the most important part of this? Was it your cancer journey? Was it your journey as a flight attendant? What part of this book are you most proud of, or did you work the hardest on to bring out for readers?
Well, the whole idea of it for me was to show that no matter what, there's always hope. So I talked about in the book how I didn't have any resources. I had just started making art. Someone had showed me how to make art out of junk. And I didn't have any art supplies, but I had junk. So I started creating things from junk, and it became just a tremendous thing. And
so out of scraps and
exactly,
right.
Things that were discarded, things from the kitchen, things from the thrift store, things that I found in the street sometimes.
Recycling.
Little pieces of metal, exactly. And I made them into art. And the strangest thing is people started collecting them and purchasing them. So I said, well, I didn't make it for that. Oh, no, but I have to have it. And it just was an incredible revelation to me.
Do you keep your art at home, or have you given it away?
I've sold a lot of it, and I'm still making it. I'm an art maker, like a daily art maker, so I usually do something artistic of my own every day besides teaching the seniors and the
And where do you sell your work?
Well, I have exhibitions all the time, or once in a while I'll have a pop-up exhibit. People will call me now and say, would you put a few pieces in an exhibition that's happening, a women's exhibition, or an exhibition about a specific topic? And so I'm always exhibiting somewhere. And I have some work in a museum right now in Dallas, Texas. And it's just been an incredible journey. And that book talks about all the coincidences and the miracles that have happened, these small little things that made a change and a shift. It's just been miraculous.
And of your artwork, what is your favorite piece, or what is your favorite media to work with?
I work in assemblage, because you mentioned that you draw stick figures. Well, I'm the same kind of artist when it comes to drawing, but when it comes to putting together things like what you see, objects, found objects, that's where that's my forte. So I use objects and put them together and redesign them and transform them, and that's my That's my art form.
So outside of all the work you're doing at the hospital and the senior center, you find time to make work, you find time to sell your work, you find time to go exhibit your work. I am so impressed, and it's so exciting. What advice can you give to people watching today who have, their desire to become an artist, which we know is such a difficult career to sort of make it, quote unquote? Mm-hmm. What's your advice to a young person watching today who has an art that they like to make and isn't sure how to take the next steps forward to make it their career, per se?
Well, when I started, I didn't know it was going to be what it is right now. And it was just important to me to do the work, just to make the art. And when people started collecting it, then things changed a little bit. But I still do the work, not with the idea of selling it, but I do it because I have to do it.
So you do it with a passion
when
for
you do
the
what you
artwork.
love, then the money will come.
So don't try to go for the money. Try to just do your passion.
And I'm
that's
not
great
rich
advice.
by any measure in monetary terms, but I am rich in creativity, and every time I think I've run out of ideas, there are more. So it's just a matter of doing it. Just do it.
That's incredible. What else do you do with your time? What other hobbies do you have aside from artwork and working with the hospital and the senior center?
Well, I travel. I like to travel and go places. I still, because of my experience with the airline, I still have travel benefits, so I take advantage of that, and I go to faraway places. And I've been to Cuba 4 times, and I just enjoy just getting around and seeing the world, and I think that informs my art too. So when I come back and when I've seen people from these different distant lands and how they live and what they do artistically, dancing, drumming, singing, painting, I get very inspired.
Now, I hear one of your favorite destinations amongst the thousands that you've probably been to is now Alabama.
Yes, my second home.
Because we should congratulate you on your marriage, correct?
I just got married at 63 years old. I got a husband for the first time.
God bless you. Congratulations.
So don't give up, ever.
So Alabama is now on the list of favorite places you go to. And I hear he works for an airline as well. Or
Same airline.
Same airline, a match made in heaven, or in the friendly skies, or up and away, whatever the slogan was. So in your travels and your years, and now with your new husband, what is your favorite place to go to aside from Alabama?
My favorite would be Charleston, because that's where we met.
Tell us a bit about that.
Oh,
How did you meet?
All up in my business.
I'm going to get.
Well, we were both at a conference. I do that a lot. Since I travel, I try to get around to conferences around the country, around the world. And we were at a conference in Charleston, South Carolina, in August of 2018, and we met, and the rest is history.
Well, congratulations on that. Let's get back a little bit to healthcare and working in a hospital. As you and I both work in hospitals, they're stressful places. Where else do you think art or art therapy or being an artist in residence, what part of the hospital do you think we can also move this into to help our patients?
Every department, absolutely every department, especially in the area of recovery from drug and alcohol abuse. That's probably a very good place to put art and artists, because people who are recovering have a lot of things on their mind that they want to express, and the best way to do that could be through art. And they don't necessarily have to be skilled, but they could get some emotion out onto a piece of paper or into some clay or some other means.
Now, how do we get our politicians and our hospital administrators watching us today to get this into other places where you feel it could benefit patients? Is your organization citywide, or is it?
It is citywide, but the Artist in Residence program is something that's around the entire nation. So I think every state has an Artist in Residence program. But the Creative Center is the organization that places us in different hospital-like settings. So they're not just in hospitals, they're in hospices, believe it or not, and they're in senior centers, and they're in a lot of different areas. So to get this to grow, I think people need to value the arts, and recognize that it is an important part of our existence, and that it does eliminate stress. It does reduce stress, if not eliminate stress, and it does help people to change their attitude, for lack of a better word. It does heal. And like I said, I'm not an arts therapist, but it does have a healing quality to it.
Is there a website or a way they can find you?
Find me?
Like on
My personal
Instagram?
website? Well,
Or
I'm on Instagram. My website is my name, WilhelminaGrant.com, and my Instagram is my studio. It's an acronym. It's S like Sam, I like ice, S like Sam, T like Thomas, A like apple, H like happy, Sista Studio. And the acronym for Sista is Survivors Inspiring Sisters Through Art and Advocacy for Health. And it's a small grassroots nonprofit organization that I started to use art to bring awareness to the community about early detection of breast cancer.
So we could find you on the web, we could find you on Instagram, we could find you at Woodhull.
And Facebook.
The Senior Center Facebook, on an airline, Alabama, Charleston. Incredible. I mean, the book is called A Feeling of Fullness, Insights of a Divinely Guided Journey Beyond Breast Cancer by Wilhelmina Grant, who is our guest today. And this is, again, a picture of the book, and we'll try to get your Instagram handle onto the show. It is really an honor to have you here today, and I want to thank you for everything you have done for protecting us in the skies, taking care of our patients in the cancer center. We wish you good health in being a cancer survivor, and congratulations on your new marriage.
Thank you.
Really great to have you on the show. It's been an honor.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for your interest in our show. I invite you to visit our website at medcastplus.com or reach out to us on social media. You can also contact us at 718-510-2103. I'm Dr. Braha. From all of us at Medcast Plus, stay healthy and have a good day.